Disclaimer. You will never sleep again after hearing this bone-chilling story. Imagine getting a ride from a driver who's been dead for years. This is the true story of Sarah's terrifying hitchhiking experience. You won't believe what happened next. It was a chilly autumn evening when Sarah decided to hitchhike home after visiting a friend in the countryside. She had done it many times before, trusting the quiet roads and the friendly locals. After waiting for about 30 minutes, a dusty blue pickup truck stopped in front of her. The driver, a middle-aged man with kind eyes and a scruffy beard, offered her a ride. "Thank you so much," Sarah said as she got into the passenger seat. The driver nodded but didn't say a word. He tipped his hat and started driving. The ride was quiet, and Sarah began to feel uneasy. She tried to chat, but the man only nodded or shook his head. As they drove along the winding roads, Sarah noticed something strange. The man's hands were very pale and cold. She shivered but tried to ignore it. Her mind wandered to her brother, who had died in a car accident 5 years ago on a night similar to this one. She felt a familiar pang of sadness. About 20 minutes into the drive, they passed a police car parked on the side of the road. The officer inside looked at them with a serious expression. Suddenly, the man swerved and pulled over. He turned to Sarah with wide, panicked eyes. "Get out!" he said urgently. Without hesitating, Sarah grabbed her bag and jumped out of the truck. The man sped away into the night. Shaken and scared, Sarah walked toward the police car. The officer got out and seemed relieved to see her. "Are you okay?" he asked. "Yes, I think so," Sarah replied. "The driver just dropped me off." The officer's face went pale. "We've been looking for that truck. The man driving it died 3 days ago in a crash on this road." Sarah's heart skipped a beat. She looked back down the dark road, memories of her brother's accident flooding her mind. She had survived that night with only a few bruises, while her brother had not been so lucky. The officer noticed her distress. "You should come with me," he said kindly. "It's not safe here." As they drove away, Sarah couldn't shake the image of the driver's cold, pale hands. She remembered her grandmother's stories about ghosts who couldn't find peace and were doomed to wander. She had never believed in such stories until now. At the police station, Sarah gave her statement. An older policeman showed her a photograph of the driver. It was the same man who had picked her up, but the photo was from 10 years ago. "He's been dead for a decade," the older policeman said gently. "His truck was in an accident years ago. People say his ghost still tries to pick up hitchhikers, trying to save them from his fate." Sarah's heart raced. She realized she had come close to something beyond belief. As she left the station, the wind howled through the trees, and she thought she heard a whisper. "Thank you." Years went by, but Sarah never forgot that night. She stopped hitchhiking and avoided rural roads. Every autumn, when the leaves turned and the air grew cold, she felt a chill deep in her bones, a reminder of her brush with the supernatural. She often wondered what might have happened if she had ignored the driver's warning. Perhaps her brother's spirit had been watching over her, making sure she didn't join him too soon.
I hope guys you enjoy the video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with yours friends and family.